and he was shocked to get a message. This day I will have your head, just like how you beheaded all my prophets. Signed, Jezebel. As soon as he read that, fear, intimidation strike his heart, and he ran for his dear life. Am I right, everybody? This man who single-handedly slaughtered 450 false prophets now runs away for his dear life. And then when he ran away for dear life, he asked God to kill him. He asked God to take him home. Even when God convinced him that no, you're not the only one, I'm with you, God demonstrated through 3 different acts of supernatural power. And yet, he kept on saying, Lord, no, take me home, take me home, take me home. So God said, all right, I will take you home. But the Hebrew word taken means to be taken and kept aside for a future use. That's what the Hebrew word means. So Elijah was taken away, and Elisha was anointed in his place. Now you tell me, was the ministry of Elijah completed or incomplete? Incomplete, right? If he had completed, there wouldn't be any Elisha. There's no need for Elisha. Because Elijah would have done his job. So, these 3 saints, 3 witnesses I have shown you, whose ministries were not completed. So the scripture says, they, these 3, among the many, without us, are not complete. Which means, in the last days, their mantles will come upon you. Just like the spirit and power of Elijah came upon John the Baptist. The scripture says that, right? John the Baptist was filled with the spirit and power of Elijah. And the Lord Jesus himself testified of John the Baptist, this is the Elijah to come. So which meant Elijah was working together with John the Baptist to complete his ministry. So in these last days, God is going to do that. So this was how the Lord explained to me that day. There is an army in heaven and an army on earth. Both need to work together. If you read Ephesians chapter 1 verse 10, it says, in the dispensation of the last days, God has made one, the family in heaven and the family in earth. So there is one family there, one family here, and they have been joined in one by the blood of the Lamb of God. So which means there's no more a dividing screen or veil anymore. When your spiritual eyes are open, is it possible to see? It is absolutely possible, because God is the God of the living and not God of the dead. Amen, everybody.
Hello. This is Gabriel and Icon. I just finished reviewing some of the information that I need to support what the Lord, Jesus Christ and God want me to speak today. In the name of Adonai, Shalom, El Shaddai, El Elyon, Elohim, Yahweh, Hayuve, and Adonai, El Shalom, El Shaddai, Yahushua, HaMashiach, Shikano. And also Adonai, Shalom, El Shaddai, Holy Spirit. I speak with authority from the kingdom of heaven, as I believe does exist in more than 185 billion of trillions miles away from our galaxy, from planet Earth. It is a real place, but it is a place of biodimensionality in function. I mean, it functions as a spiritual place as well as a physical place. Like I explained to you before, that the spiritual realm is the higher plane, is the higher realm. It is a complete entity. It is a complete integral in which thing that the higher power, which is God, Elohim, wanted us to see, derived from. The derivation from an integral depends on how you want to model it, and that's where derivative come in place. You derive something from a full integral, a full integral entity, according to the way you wanted to mold it. So that's how what we see today came from. the invisible elements, invisible substance. I'm going to start today by saying God-Elohim is the creator of the invisible universe and the visible universe. When you understand those two concepts, you understand everything. And both universes work in harmony because there is a law of irresistibility of the material universe over the spiritual universe. It means the spiritual universe dictates how the material universe have to function. The law, the mathematical law, the physical law, the chemistry law of the material universe solely depend on the law of the spiritual universe. The spiritual physics, spiritual chemistry, and any other spiritual knowledge that you can imagine. Therefore, I'm here to say to you, God is greater than what we think. We live in a macroscopic, even less than a macroscopic world, but God made it important to us, as the earth is a preparation ground for a spiritual ascendance of His creation. He made it clear. That's why today I will be talking about the spiritual reasoning of the existence of reincarnation. People in religion gonna say, we don't believe in reincarnation. It do not exist. First of all, you have to understand what it is. The problem in our society today is lack of knowledge, and people not willing to seek for knowledge. They want to get it with their own understanding, and they follow more what is negative than what is positive. And that's one of the things that actually lead into the killing of Jesus Christ. Despite all the good and the miracle Jesus Christ have completed, people decided to listen to the evil side, the evil story they were telling them about him, or his demon possessed. You know, the miracle is doing are not from God. Have you forgotten about the law of Moses, of Abraham? He's coming with things that do not exist. They never spoke about these things. So he's from a evil descent. And people were listening to evil stuff about people. Even people who didn't even know Jesus Christ, knew Jesus Christ. They were believing in those. And it's the same thing that's happening today. People in this generation have the tendency of listening everything that is negative. If anything come out there about Trump, Trump have signed a very good law that will protect America from terrorism, that will help America industry. People will not listen to it too much. They'll be like, okay. Now another news. We just find a video about Trump having sex with a top model. Oh man, that video will crash in the internet. I can assure you, it will crash. It will be the #1 view video in the entire universe. Even if Jesus Christ is coming, people are going to be like, no, let us watch this first. That's how negative this world is. It is today. You know, you understand that people like to listen to what is negative than what is positive. They love darkness. When we talk about good about the person, everybody's like, oh, okay. Just swap it and change the conversation. Start talking about negative. Oh, everybody will like, oh, is he saying? Can you repeat again? Because we are living in a world of Jezebel, the spirit of Jezebel, who is the queen of hell, elevated in darkness by Lucifer himself, and she is the one that Daniel was talking about, a woman on the last day, because her spirit will come forth and she will play a role during these last days, because we are the last generations. As I spoke last time, that I don't believe we have 35 more years. before the return of Jesus Christ here. So things are very clear. If people, I'm not giving you a date, I just tell you that I don't believe we have 35 more years before he returns. The reason is very obvious. Everything that Jesus Christ spoke, he was very clear. He even said as well that the sign he gave us the sign of the last days. He spoke about this thing. It's not just Gabriel is inventing. He said you might not know the day, but when you see those signs, you gotta know we're getting near. So I'm not inventing anything. I don't want people to say, oh no, I'm not inventing anything. I'm telling you, you have darkness becoming light more and more. The killing of people, back then people should have called it abomination. Today is just like the normal news. Oh, kill 17 people. People are like, let me go and do my work. Back then, killing 17 people, somebody go pick up the Bible and start praying. Somebody doing some crazy crap. Today it became a norm. So you can see how darkness is becoming light. Now children are going into school with guns. Back then people would be like, man, God, please come back. Now it's not normal things. And people have to dispute about, And I listened to the news last time, a person saying, well, in Australia, do not use the name of Jesus Christ anymore because it is offensive. Use rising Christ. Who is rising Christ? What is Christ? Christ just means Messiah, anointed one, chosen one. Even the devil in the pit of hell, or in hell, or darkness, is also saying that he's a Messiah, he's a chosen one. Okay, he came to save us from the dictatorial rule of God. He gave us technology, he helped us with this and that. So he also called himself a Messiah. His followers also call him an anointed one. So who are you referring to, rising Christ? You want to remove the name of Jesus and replace it by Christ? Christ is not his name. Christ is just an attribute to his nature. That's what it is. Lord is not the name of Jesus Christ. It's an attribute. That's what it is. So people must be very, very, very careful about what they're saying or watching. Without further ado, I wanted to go first with a little joke about Trump talking about saying, well, this is, I was listening to that Twitter about Trump and Joe Biden fighting, and then Trump write a thing, we'll be fighting and he'll be crying all the way down. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be the referee of that fight. And after those two persons with a certain age finish to fight, I will invite them for a cocktail of champagne, and I invite some beautiful women to come around to give them a good massage. Hopefully it will not go into TV as inappropriate, like some people always say, because it's very appropriate when people are saying, well, we're going to fight 70-year-old folks. Talking about fighting is a normal thing in the process. So why not you have a little bit of party and heal thing. It is time to have peace. Okay, those folks, they don't comprehend. The hand of God is in this man. It is God who put him in power. I wanted to tell you again, God is the creator. When they ask you a question, who's God? Don't talk too much. He is the creator of the invisible universe and the visible universe. Every single problem, I say again, every single problem, political problems, economic problems, religious problems, physical problems, emotional problems, mental problems, in a microscopic level and the microscopic level have a spiritual root. try to solve the problem using the material algorithm is a waste of time, and not somebody say it's a self-defeat, because you're wasting your time. You have no accomplishment. You try to fix the foundation of your house by walking on the top of it, thinking it'll be fine. I will add something just on top, and it will look good. But actually, the foundation is the one that have a problem. You have to go down and refortify. You have to dig down to the end of our foundation and reinforce it or replace it completely. So that's what it's all about. So even the problem that the problems that the prisoners are facing are spiritual roots, or in origination they have a spiritual roots. So attack to what is going on, like I mentioned last time about that lady, and the day after I saw that she just came up because she won publicity, she won to be known, and it didn't even last 60 minutes. Tomorrow she'll be there. All of these are all spiritual attack. As the devil is trying to rip him off, there's no way, so he's gonna go to other strategy to defame his character, so that something can come up. Something can come up so that he can be maybe a bitch or something like that. Now, the special counsel called Mueller, that I have respect for him, but I still don't know why they're using taxpayer money for a situation like this. Now he wanted to start looking at the financial situation of Trump. So I mean, before Trump came into power, he started digging into his financial state. That is against the law. It had nothing to do with his presidency. And I will not be surprised that God fire Mueller very soon. It is coming, because that have nothing to do. I mean, the guy is deviating from Russia and the Trump campaign thing, and then you start looking at Trump business assets. Somebody suffer with all that, full bankruptcy, and for some reason he got smart, became rich. Whatever it is that he was doing with Russia, he was a businessman. He wasn't a political individual. So why do people are doing this kind of thing? And people are sitting there and say, well, you're supporting Donald Trump because I don't have any dime from him. But I say again, God put him there so that he can accomplish the thing that will please the kingdom of heaven. First of all, the United States was created because Christopher Columbus discovered the United States, not for the people who live here today and then talking about America. It was initially God granted. That's why Magellan was not the one who discovered America, because his intention was not in the interest of the kingdom of heaven. But the intention of Christopher Columbus was in the interest of the kingdom of heaven, so that God blinded Magellan. Magellan lost the way, and Christopher Columbus was the one who discovered. This information is thing that come from the heaven. Now, Christopher Columbus' initial reason of discovering a new land was because the Jews were persecuted in Spain and also in Europe. So he was looking for a new land so that the Jew can go. That helped the kingdom of heaven. So God said, I'll choose Christopher Columbus because his intentions are good, are for my people. That's what happened. God didn't initiate this country for the folks that walk out today and talking crazy crap. It was for his people. So that's what the Jew, that's why Trump was elected. You see how he's reconnecting with the Jew. Because that was the main reason this country was allowed by God to be discovered in the first place. So if you guys don't know these things, I'm telling you these things, to become humble like a child before God and treat his people, the Jew, accordingly. What Trump is doing is correct. He have to move the embassy of the United States into Jerusalem, and the third temple will be built there, and that will be another sign of a return of Christ very soon, because things are going to happen rapidly and fast. So that's why people have to comprehend it. Trump is a smart man. He married a very intelligent and very discreet woman. Those women who are coming there is because he didn't choose them. He didn't choose them. You're gonna go and have sex with the president, he pay you money, and then you say, well, I didn't come for money. What you come for? For sex? Oh no, you came because you think that he's gonna marry you? That's what it's all about. Why does he got her in there, not me? Because it was not your destiny. It's very simple. Move on with your life. People just don't understand how things work in life. Sometimes you have to tell them, move on with your life. You have to listen to the statement of those women. When we finish, he gave me money. No, I didn't come there for money. What did you come there for? No, I come there because I really like him. I thought that maybe I can also be the first lady one day, you know. No, back then you didn't know he will become president. Now that you know that, he's president. Oh, the lady who was there was doing the same thing I used to do. I'm doing now, but it's supposed to be me. Now, well, my head is troubled. I don't know. Now I have to do something. That's why all of you need Jesus Christ. Because you are confused. You have those demons in you, possessing you, and the only thing you know is revenge, it is destruction, is everything that can only be evil. Nothing good. Looking at stuff, how people are doing things in this life. They need Jesus Christ to help them. Now, let me go and talk about reincarnation. Many people will say, well, as a Christian, we don't talk about reincarnation. Now, let me go to a high level of my ministry here and the business talk. God is the creator of the visible universe and the invisible universe. It means both universes work in synchronization with following the law of irresistibility of the material over the spiritual. It means the spiritual dictates what happened into the material. Now, you were created at the primordial foot. What was created first? It was not your flesh. What was created first was your spirit. So when God created your spirit, He gave a purpose to it. Now the spirit was made and fulfilled, but good. Now, in order for that spirit to attain fulfillment and higher divinity, getting closer and closer to the nature of God as God wanted, that spirit have to be given a chance. Now, God took the spirit, brought it into earth and said, well, in order for the spirit to grow, I don't want it to create robots. God didn't want to create biological robots. People that say, oh yeah, okay, yes, Lord, yes, God. He didn't want to create that. He want to create people who they can decide to choose Him. with their own willingness. Therefore, he gave a choice. He put man on earth, and he said to his angel that he created. Angels are created. You can say that angels are like robots. Yeah, they are, because they are, but God gave them also a choice. But they're not better. That's what makes them a little bit different. That's why God is God, because he created people, but he gives them a choice. It's not easy to do that. So when an angel, you see an angel, they only have two choices. Either they listen to God or they listen to the evil force. And when they listen to the evil force, they already know the consequences. If they listen to God, they already know the positive consequences for that. So they follow God's order with exact precision. If God said to an angel, I want you to go into this city and kill every single person, including even the sand on the floor, that's exactly what's going to happen. I want you to go and save every single person, including even a sand on the floor. That's what's going to happen. That's how those angels are. Now, one thing that people have to know is that when God took your spirit, he put your spirit on earth. He wanted us to have an easy path to illumination, to enlightenment, to fulfillment. That's what he wanted. That's where the story of the Garden of Eden starts. So he said, okay, we created them in our image, we put them in a clothing so that the spirit can live into a material world. What to do? We have to cover them with material things. That's why our body comes in place. Our spirit lives in us. Now God said to the angel, we are opening the spiritual eyes. We're going to open the spiritual mind. Everything. They will see the material world as well as the spiritual world at the same time. They will be taking order from you. You're going to serve them. I mean, there will be you'll be taking order from them because you are in the service. Give them guidance. That's why the Garden of Eden came in place. Doing that, we're going to stay into the path in which God created for us, and we're going to reach enlightenment and fulfillment of our spirit more quicker and more easily. It might take, and there was no death. It might take 500 years, but we're going to reach it. Listen to this. This is very important, because when I'm going to go to the next level, you might be lost. Now, that's where the story starts. The Garden of Eden. God is not. He's very smart. More than smart. There's no attribute, adjective for that. Now, you are in the Garden of Eden. God said, this is what you have to do. Don't do this, do this. Don't do that, do this. In order for you to stay in your path, in the purpose in which I created you, so that you can reach you can enlighten your spirit more easily and swifter. Now, the devil who have some problem over there in heaven, cast out, come and convince the first couple that, you know what, only wanted to continue to listen to that God. Nobody tell him what to do, but he wanted to come and tell people what to do. You know, you also have a right. The same right he brought in heaven and then got cast out, he brought it here on earth. Democracy, you know, free will, free choice, he brought it. The devil brought it. God gave it, but with the intent that you know who's who. The devil brought it like, you are your own person. You can also be like God. So you don't have to know who's who. You do what you want to do. That's why the devil came, and that's why the mixed up society today. Now, we know what happened when they disobeyed God. Everything got mixed up. Now, in order for them to reach enlightenment of the spirit in one lifetime, even if they have to live for 500 years, now God say death has come in you. You're gonna die. When God say you're gonna die, He was not saying that your flesh gonna die. No. He was saying your spirit have died. It means to reach enlightenment. It means to get closer to me. You will suffer now. That's why reincarnation came in place. Because we choose experimentation instead of obeying the word, the word of God. To stay in the path. So when we were cast out of the Garden of Eden, God closed our spiritual eyes. He closed our spiritual sight. We were not able to see the spiritual realm anymore, or even the angel that are there to protect us. Now with that disability, spiritual disability, we are walking like a sheep. We don't know where to go. We're making a lot of mistakes, and we're going out of the path in which God created us. What happened? Now let me go back to the beginning. God is the creator of the spiritual universe and the physical universe. Now you are bidimensional as well. It means your spirit is made of two layers, the main spirit and the soul. The soul is the byproduct of the spirit. A byproduct is something that is getting created as a consequence of the primary intention. So that's what a byproduct is. So your soul, which is in you, is the byproduct of the existence of the spirit, and it comes as a package in you. Now when you die, your spirit go out straight back to God, straight back. To just go. There's a light that come and then it go. Now your soul is what have to be judged. It means your soul gonna go either to the devil, either to God. That's why end up into hell or either to heaven. Your body is just dust. No, when you see that coffin out there, there's nothing there. It's done. It's just bones and whatever it is. There's nothing there anymore. The most important part of it gone. Your soul and your spirit gone. So you just dust. That's what the Bible says. You dust. You come from dust, you return from to dust. That's what it is. Now when you look the spirit go back to God. Why? Because God is looking at the spirit and say, do I see any advancement in this spirit, or I see a lack of advancement? Do this spirit grow into the principle or the standard in which I want to see or not? Then he will miss it again. Remiss means that you are sent back to continue in your journey of fulfillment. Why? As a consequence of us disobeying God, who want to show us the right path. That means that we can live a one lifetime of 500 years or 1,000 years following the directive of the angel, so that you can stay in the path in which God created you. But we choose experimentation, and we have to face the consequences. That's the reason why reincarnation is not an option, it's an obligation for God to continue. See, God that you see, he have many ways of fixing things. See, even when the devil came in place, he knew how to use the devil to achieve his will in good. He knew how to change what is evil into good. So the devil was thinking, the main purpose, you guys don't understand what God called the devil clever. The main reason the devil came and mixed up humankind, it was not for what we see. It was to save time. To make God algorithm longer. Because you can imagine, a person come, God needs spiritual beings out there who are well fulfilled to serve his kingdom up. because you have the true power. You become one with God, and you make his kingdom stronger. Now, the devil will come and say, well, if I mixed up these people, in order for them to reach enlightenment, they're going to have to go to many process. It will take longer. That's the real problems that the heaven is facing. But the truth is not facing, because God is God. He'll win at the end. That's the real battle that you guys don't understand what's going on. So you are being remiss. I mean, many of us who live in this specific time, in this specific earth, we are all reincarnated here. We have lived some time in this planet. We went to a different spiritual dimension. We lived there and we came back when the time came again. So this is how it happened. God is the creator of the spiritual realm, universe, and the invisible universe. The invisible universe existed before the physical universe. It's not everything in the spiritual universe that God translated into or transformed into the material universe. There's some element, what we see, that God decided that it is essential for men to have those in order for them to go into the journey on this physical plane of the material universe. Therefore, he selected some element within the spiritual universe and did the algorithm derivative to formulate what we see today in our physical world. So that is not all that exists in the spirit. There are more elements that exist in the spiritual universe that we don't know. What we see here is what God wants us to know, because it is what we need to go into our journey of spiritual growth. Now, how did the spiritual growth happen? The spiritual growth happens when you go into the process of challenge and difficulties. When you kill your flesh, because God allows you to be tested so that your flesh can be killed. Your flesh is what? It is a human process to do things that are not the way of God. Now, when God sent problem, is for you to be challenged into your flesh so that your flesh can be diminished, then the spirit in you will grow. So, when that spirit grow, you are getting into that direction of fulfilling your spirit, closer to completion. So the spirit in you will give you life, only record what is good, not what is bad. But your soul, which is the byproduct, the reason of which is in there, will record both, because it's the one that will have to be judged. The spirit only take what is good, because that's what God need. Nothing evil get into the kingdom of God. Because somebody's gonna say, how do you know that the spirit only get what is good? What you have done good. That's what the spirit select. Why? Because the spirit go back to God, and nothing that is evil go back to God. Nothing that is unclean go back to God. Impossible, because of his nature. So as a consequence, with no objection, the spirit only have to choose what you have done well for the growth, for its beneficial growth, because that's the intended reason. You have to grow in your spirit. Your character have to be according to God's desire from the primordial thought of creation. So now, what happened when your spirit go up? God looks your spirit according to how he designed you. Either you're going to be remixed back in this earth, or you're going to be sent to a different universe, a spiritual universe. You're going to live in the spiritual world for a while. Sometime it might be 500 years, sometime it might be 1,000 years. And then when that time comes, when you complete your life in the spiritual world, then your time comes to re-enter the earth. Now this is how it happened. You don't know who you are because God wiped out your memory. You don't know that. You don't remember ever living in any place. You just appear. If they ask you where you live, you're not going to know. Even me, all of us come from a spiritual planet far away from us. We have lived there. And some of us have lived there together. We come here and we completing things because it's all about completion. The people you see walking into the Trump administration, living, going, coming, living, coming, fire, resigning, they are all, it's called completion of undone business. From the spiritual realm to the physical realm. That's what it is. And it got to be done in order to find harmony and balance. God is all about harmony and balance. Now, when you get there, your memory is wiped out, you move into the next dimension, spiritual world, you live there. Your time is counted there because God gives you time in every single life that you live. When that time is up, you move to the next one, like a year. Now, there is some people talking about animal, there is animal reincarnation. It does not exist, and I want people to remove it out of their mind. No man get reincarnated into animal. That is the evil teaching. Now, I just don't talk to talk. I'll prove to you here. Animal don't have a spirit. First, God in the Bible said very clearly, we are made in his image. God never say animal are made in my image. The only time you say God says human beings are made in my image, he never said nothing else is made in God's image. Nothing else. Not flower, not flower, all of those other things are as the expression of God nature. That's all. When I say expression of God nature, it means the characteristics he possesses that lead into what he creates to please him. But very specific, God said, let make man in our image. Well, there's also passages in the Bible talking about how God created animal, all of that. He never say, I made them in my image. So why do people want to believe that a person can be reincarnated into an animal? The animal don't have a spirit, they only have a soul. And the soul of the animal are together with the flesh, I mean the body. So when an animal dies, he perishes as well. The soul perish and the body perish. Done. Now, there are human beings who are using sorcery, who are using black magic, and they mock themselves. I said they mock themselves with animal totems. It means that they mock themselves. They're becoming a lower species. That's what they do. Therefore, they are not using their spirit, they're using their soul to do that. Because God will not live in an animal. So don't be confused with this bad teaching from Hinduism and Buddhism, all this kind. That's not true. And I prove to you, an animal don't have a spirit. You have a spirit because God decided to make you in his image. When you die, your soul and your spirit don't perish with you, because your soul and your spirit is not part of your body. It is part of God's structure, spiritual structure. It go back to the spiritual world. Now when you enter, when your spirit go out first, because your spirit is what gives you life. If I go to a hospital today, or either I stay here and somebody die, and I'm walking around and God is saying to me, the soul and the spirit of that individual is still in him, I will say to the medical doctors and the firefighters and everybody, this man is not dead yet. You have to continue to do your medical thing and continue to pray. He will come back. Because when your spirit and your soul is still in you, It is what gives you life. What you see will derive from the spiritual existence is just an illusion. What you see in the human being is just an illusion. As long as your spirit and your soul is still in you, you are not dead. But if God said to me, the spirit and soul is gone, I will say to people, no, he's really dead. He's not in this world. He's not here anymore. He's gone. That is the true thing. So when your spirit leaves your body, your soul, which is the byproducts of your spirit, have to go out as well. So it go in order. And when you are created, it also go in order, in reverse order. It means your flesh is made. God made the flesh first. And then when the flesh is made, the spirit, which is the package with the soul, come and join the flesh. So the spirit is there. The spirit is made first, and then the body now come and cover the spirit. How it works in spiritual medicine, when a baby have to be made, God designed the baby from heaven. The baby is made into the spiritual womb of the woman, coming from the spiritual seed of the man and the spiritual seed of the woman, and that spiritual baby is made. Now, well, the physical seed of the man and the physical seed of the woman. Now the spiritual baby is made. That spiritual baby have a spiritual envoy. Angel carry the baby from the heaven, and the baby is escorted. There is a fight that can happen between the demons and the angel because they don't want that baby to exist, based on the gift that he had. Now, 6 months before you are even born, before your mother and your father come together, God already knows that you will be created. And everything is in preparation, and the baby start moving before that time arrives. With precision, God already know that it will happen. God know this individual and that woman going to have sex in this specific time, in this specific second, and tears, and every millimeter calculated, everything. The baby is already moving in the spiritual realm with angels. Now, when that happened, before that happened, in a moment in which the new creation going to happen, those angels infiltrate the spiritual baby into the womb, and at the same time, the formulation of the eggs and the sperm start covering that spiritual baby, and that's how the form come out as a human being, but the spirit is in it. So the form, the medicine that we saw today with the mitosis of a baby is just the clothes. It's very advanced software that cover the spirit from that inception time into the moment of delivery. And you have a baby laughing and playing. Is a spirit that just come out from the womb, but just come in a new world. That's what happened. Now, how do reincarnation function? When your spirit leaves, when God said this is your time, because God gives us time, all of us, and God is the only one who can increase our time of living in this earth. He gives us time. So when he gives us time, he said, okay, you have 70 years. Depending on how you live your life, God can decide to extend your life. He can extend your years. He can say, okay, you have served me well, I still want you to do more. Okay, I give you 20 more years. He's the only one who can do that. No human being, nobody else. Now, when your spirit go back up, your soul of that specific lifetime is getting judged. Your soul can go to heaven, but your spirit is still God designing where your spirit gonna go. Your spirit now can go into a different, depending on how God has put it, for this journey, specific step in this journey. Now, when the time comes for you to be released, if you have not reached enlightenment and completion, because when the spirit reaches completion, he is not coming back, he stayed in heaven and reach a very high level in that world. You calling this a consequences of a big plan. That what we see here is all the consequences of a big plan. It's all consequences of a big plan. Our existence, the earth, and all of this stuff. I mean, in the flesh. Our existence in the flesh is a consequence of a big plan. Now, when your spirit go back, your soul either end up in heaven or hell. Your soul have no idea what your spirit is, because it is all into God technology, advanced technology over there in heaven. And God look at the spirit and say, okay, this individual might have been saved, but the spirit still need more journey to continue. Now, according to how God designed that spirit at the primordial thought, that have to do with the entirety of the spiritual universe and the invisible and the visible universe, you are directed, you are released into a different dimension. You can live as a spiritual being into a different dimension. You live there, God gave you maybe 200 years, 300 years to live there. You're going to live there with other people. Now, your memory has been wiped out. But in the spirit, you know exactly what happened, because in the spirit, everything is naked. And depending on how far you're going to go, God gave you authorization to see things. The only time now that your memory is wiped out completely, it is when your time comes to be released back on earth. Then your spirit, your memory is wiped out completely. You know nothing about who you are. You're going to find it if you decide to know who God is. And He will show you the way. The way are nothing today. Now, depending on how you were designed at the primordial form, you can come back as a man or woman or whatever it is. But man or woman. You can come back as a Latino, you can come back as a Nepalese, you can come back as a Chinese, you can come back as an African. Maybe you got to pray God that you don't go back. You can be born in a poor family. Your previous existence has been, you probably was the son of a very rich individual, and your next remix you end up in Somalia. God decide to fix. It's all about finding balance for the progress of your spirit. God is all about your spirit. That's why Jesus Christ was very specific. He said, prioritize the thing of the heaven. Prioritize the thing of the spirit, and everything else will follow. That's what this is all about. You can try to interpret it the way you want, but I can assure you, you're going to come back to this conclusion, because there are many things you're never going to understand. Like this, you're never going to be able to explain circumstances that are out of natural comprehension. It solidifies the concept of spiritual maturity through multiple remix. It supports the myth behind multiple dimensions in the visible and invisible universe. You see somebody going around, he gets shot and he died. Nobody can explain that. It's because it was meant to be according to how the residual of his previous existence, things supposed to be balanced. You see somebody ending up in school and shooting 17 children, just like that. You can explain that. It was based on that. If it was not the case, God would have blocked it. God have allowed many of his followers to die. God have not changed. God said to Saul, the king of Israel, I want you to go and kill every single person there during the battle. Don't keep nothing. Because it is all about the entire picture of the spiritual universe, the invisible universe, and the visible universe, and how harmony have to be placed. Things have to happen. You don't end up today and kill 17 people and believe that you're just going to die and go like that. No, you be remiss and you'll be killed like that. Depending on how you do your life in your next dimension to fix the problems. That's why Jesus Christ came and said, follow me, I'll show you the way. These things are too complicated. You don't need all of those things. Just follow my teaching. I am the way, the truth, and life. You know, Jesus spoke. He spoke in parable, allegory. That's what he used. But when you start explaining one, it might take you 20 years to write books about one. I just told you a synopsis of the real thing, the business of the heaven. It's just synopsis. That's why you don't do things because you think, oh, I just do it, I move. No. It will follow you for a very long time. In the invisible world, you're gonna face it. Yeah, many people talk about you are saved, I'm in heaven, but what about your spirit? Your spirit gonna go before God. God gonna look and say, oh, you still need to be remiss. Everything that you did that you didn't complete, He follow you. He put it back into the next one. And that's how somebody comes, you see somebody suffering. He have done nothing, he's suffering. People are saying, what does this guy have done? Nah, it have nothing to do with what you have done here. It have to do with what you have done in his previous existence. And that need to be completed. Until he complete it, then he will move into what he's supposed to have in this existence in which he is. Somebody wake up, oh, Donald Trump just fire him. The guy still like he doesn't understand anything. Now it is completion. It is meant to be. People come and say, oh, 1 month I got fired, gone. Completion. It was meant to be, you move on. It have to be. And I want to say to people, every single person you have seen walking into the Trump administration and any other administration, they have existed one another in different dimensions before they got here. What you see here, it is what we call matching and equilibrium and harmony. +1 - 1, 0. They did you over there like that, you did them over here. God balanced them. And they move on. That's when when you start understanding this thing, you understand why. I think that President Obama one day said these things. He said, even though that you always have to pick up something good when people say things. He said, what is happening in the Middle East where Muslims are cutting the head of Christian? It is the compensation of what happened during the Crusade time, where the Christian was cutting the head of Muslim because they're supposed to convert into Christianity. That's what it was, because they are spiritual people, they know what they're talking about. If you listen to what I'm saying, you will know I'm very high level, elevated into the spiritual world. Today I can teach people about things. That's what it's all about. You don't think that everything that you do in this life, now I gotta do what you gotta do. No. Remove that out of your vocabulary. Very dangerous. It will follow you. You don't want to end up in Somalia. You don't want to end up in places that are poor. Do what is good. Do good, and you're going to have a chance to be released in the same place. Do good. Because you don't do good, when you're going to end up, your spirit going to end up before God. You say, okay, maybe Sudan will be good for this individual. You end up in Sudan. It's through the family over there that's where you end up. To fix your residual from your previous existence. And what people don't understand, you don't want to be the same face, same no. It's your spirit. It is your spirit. Your spirit take the form, any form. The spirit go over there. The spirit is a very advanced spiritual computer, spiritual being. It takes the form of which it is programmed to be. I mean, your spirit, my spirit, look like me, but when you go upstairs, it will have some feature, but it will not be me completely, but it will be the same spirit. Design. So you're going to have one spirit, have many beings that derive from his journey. Many beings. Some of them are in hell, some of them are in heaven. This is a very high thing. Helping people to open their eyes, understand, do not do things that are evil. It will penalize you into your next existence and open up. You will never gonna be rid of it, just you're gonna face it. That's why Jesus came and said, follow me, follow me. Stop listening to those false teaching, those false religion. They are lying to you. I am the truth, the way, and the life. If you don't follow Jesus Christ's path, your journey will be very long. And I hope that is not in your 13 release that you're going to realize that, hey, let me open my eyes here. What's going on with my life? When you start going in deeper in spirituality, they start telling you, oh well, you have done this in the past, you have done that and that. Because they can also find it in your soul DNA, which is called your animal DNA. It's the story of your life. They can find it there. It is recorded. They tell you who you were, where you came from. If you have existed even in Egypt, either you have existed in Asia, you have lived before in America as an Indian, what you're facing today is just balance. Because somehow you have done it in a far distant existence. So do not be. That's what Jesus Christ said. Do not be part of this world, but be renewed. Be transformed by the renewal of your heart and mind. Because if you follow this world, your journey will be very long. Treat people well. Now, the message to President Biya of Cameroon, you have to know one thing. God is speaking to you right now. God is talking to you right now, and He is telling, and I'm here to tell you, listen to what God is telling you. Don't challenge it. Whatever choice God made, don't challenge it. It is what it is, and it is the truth. Whoever God will put there or preparing to replace you, it is for the good of that nation, to cleanse the nation completely, remove evil, and remove all the sects that are in there that are destroying future generation and the culture and the human dignity into that nation and the corruption. As of President Trump, when God put you in position, everybody's happy. It's not easy. It's the burden. I know it. I understand it. God actually touched my shoulder like he did with Jacob. My shoulder have some issue a little bit, but I'm fine. Every time God lifts you up, it is the responsibility of those that you're looking down. God said to me, he wants you to make a decision about my case of profiling around. You will have, maybe if you have not have it already, you will have dreams. I'm talking to President Trump here. You're going to have dreams of angel telling you to free me. There will be the angel of God sent by God. If it has not happened already, it will happen very soon. Those angels will be telling you to free Gabriel and Michael. You will ask them, what do they mean? They will explain to you the truth about the evil that is being done to enhance my habitat in this land. When you do it, they will go away. If you don't do it, they will persist. You will see the same scenario that happened during the Moses time. During the Moses time, where the Pharaoh was taught to do something, he rejected, but every single time in his dream he had the same thing. The angel talking to him. Do this and do this until he did. That's what's going to happen. That's what I started first and say, when God put you in power, it's because he have in that he know you alone are the one who's going to make it happen. That's why. That's why it's a burden too. It's a burden. That's why many people, God don't let them know about what is up. Because if God tells them, they're going to say no. So, that's what it is. So you're going to have those things. If you have not happened, it's going to happen soon. You will be requested to cease any profiling against me from the state, local level, state level, and federal level. It will be ordained like that by God himself. And it's coming very soon. And any other microchipping that they have put everything, there will be, you're going to have the message from God. He knows what he will tell you, but the only thing I was taught to tell you is that you will have visitation very soon on your claim, most of the time. And I hope, give you advice, just do it. God don't run away. Every time you're going to resist it, you're going to think it's a joke, it will come back over and over and over and over until you get done, get complete. I have a future, my friend. I have a very, very bright and long and challenging future. Many life depend on me in the world. I gotta to do what God have created me to do, and God is on it. There's no special people born in order not. All of us have the gift. All of us were created for a reason, and some of us God have put a lot of work, but you can't let it last like that. A lot of good blessing God have put in there. Okay, so my friend, listen to the voice of God. Don't challenge it. The same thing I said to President Biya. Don't challenge it, man. Just follow. Challenge it. It's called self-defeat. No success to that. Alright? So next time we're going to be talking about hell and the incoming return of Christ, and the false prophet, and the event as Jesus Christ is visiting his people more and more. The saints are visiting the people. Angels have been sent to visit his people and do the right things. Without further ado, I will see you next time, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and that God will bless you and give you more strength to fulfill his purpose on earth and follow his desire, the desire of his heart. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. It's Gabriel and Icon of the Comfort Global Oil Consulting, the Comfort Global Consultants, and the Angel H Medical Foundation and IT Inc., or the Charity Medical Foundation and IT Inc. Thank you very much as a company, organization for the future of medicine and the medicine of the future. And I'll see you next time.